I was literally staring at my ceiling at 2 in the morning last night, just completely spiraling about the entire concept of romantic relationships.
Oh, this is how we're starting. Okay.
No, but seriously, like, why do we do this to ourselves? Human beings have this incredible, almost limitless capacity for love, like for genuine connection and vulnerability.
Right.
And what do we do with it? We actively choose to construct these massive, elaborate obstacle courses just to keep actual intimacy completely at bay.
It is exhausting to watch.
It is. We invent new ways to avoid communicating. We will literally restructure our entire domestic existence, invite a dozen other people into our bedrooms, or, I don't know, write complex legal bylaws for our dating rosters, all just to avoid looking our partner in the eye and saying, I am terrified.
Humans are so messy.
Shakespeare could never. It is breathtakingly tragic. And, babes, welcome back. We love you. We see you. And, babes, happy weekend.
Happy weekend, Snark Squad. And listen, the frozen ape rolls are officially on deck.
Yes, they are.
And yes, babes, because I love you all, I did add a little strawberry puree to the mix today.
I am taking a sip right now. Hang on.
Let me know what you think.
Oh, my God. And, babes, these are incredible. Like, I am unwell.
I told you. Strawberry puree magically improves literally everything it touches.
It really does. Why do frozen Aperols just continue to completely dominate summer culture? Like, we have been drinking these for 3 years, and I am still not tired of them.
Because it is a lifestyle. It's not just a beverage, it's a personality trait at this point. And honestly, weekend drinks just mathematically hit differently than Tuesday drinks.
Oh, 1,000%. Tuesday drinks are like, I am surviving late-stage capitalism. Weekend drinks are like, I am the main character of a European summer.
Exactly. I am officially declaring this the drink of the summer. Again.
I second that motion. Okay, before we get into the absolute chaos of today's episode, we have to give a massive chaotic shout out to Catalina, Sam, and Jeff.
Yes. The real MVPs of the week.
Literally. They slid into the DMs just begging us to cover WETV's new show, This Is Polly.
And you know, we love a desperate DM.
We really do. So, Catalina, Sam, Jeff, babes, we've got you covered.
We truly love when the Snark Squad curates our viewing habits. Because honestly, the absolute best trash TV always comes from your recommendations.
It's so true. You guys have such an impeccable radar for red flags and disaster. We trust you implicitly.
We do. And speaking of disaster, because it is the weekend, it is time for the official Snark Side Weekend horoscope.
Oh, I am so ready. Drag them. Drag the zodiac.
I will. Okay, Aries, listen to me. You are going to text your ex this weekend.
No, Aries, put the phone down.
Do not do it. But when you inevitably do, because you are an Aries, just blame retrograde. Blame the moon.
Taurus, you are up next. Taurus, buy the shoes. Ignore the rent. The landlord can wait. The aesthetic cannot.
Literally terrible financial advice, but I support it. Gemini, you are going to start a rumor at brunch that completely ruins the vibe, and you are going to love every second of it.
Typical Gemini behavior. Cancer, oh my sweet Cancers, you are going to cry in the club.
They always do.
It's fine. Just make sure your setting spray is locked in. Let the tears flow, babes.
Leo, you are attending a wedding this weekend, and you are absolutely going to try to make it about you.
Yeah.
Wear the white dress, Leo. Choose violence.
Oh my God, do not encourage them. Virgo, you're currently organizing a highly toxic group chat about your coworkers. Color code the spreadsheets, babes. Do your thing.
Libra, you are flirting with the barista again. Stop it. He is just doing his job. He does not want to co-parent a French bulldog with you.
Scorpio, you are aggressively stalking an ex's new girlfriend's sister's Venmo transactions right now. And, you're going to find what you're looking for.
They are the FBI of the zodiac. Sagittarius, you are about to book a deeply irresponsible flight to, Ibiza, just to avoid having a serious conversation with someone you've been dating for 3 weeks.
Valid. So valid. Capricorn, you are going to take your laptop on a date. You are going to be crunching Q3 numbers over tapas. Please seek help.
Aquarius, you are going to ghost literally everyone who loves you this weekend because you decided you need to reconnect with your inner alien or whatever.
And finally, Pisces, you are going to fall completely madly in love with someone who held the door open for you at Target. Start planning the wedding on Pinterest.
It is written in the stars, babes. We don't make the rule.
We really don't. Okay, moving on. We have received so many submissions for our shady, snarky, or stupid segment, and we really wanted to read one before we get into the episode.
Oh, I love these. The confessionals are always so messy. What do we have today?
Okay, this is from a listener who wants to remain anonymous, obviously.
Obviously. Go ahead.
She says, "Hey, besties, I need you to settle a massive debate. So last weekend, I kind of snooped on my boyfriend's phone while he was in the shower."
Starting off strong with a casual felony. Love it.
Right. She continues, "I found a highly ambiguous text from a female coworker that literally just said, 'Can't wait for round 2 tomorrow,' wink emoji." Wait, it gets better. So I completely spiraled. I didn't say anything to him, but when I did the laundry that afternoon, I accidentally washed his favorite, very expensive vintage wool sweater on Ott.
No. Tell me she didn't.
It is now the size of a Build-A-Bear outfit.
I am screaming.
But here is the plot twist. It turns out round 2 was about a stupid PowerPoint presentation they were co-hosting for a client pitch. She showed me the slides later that night. So my question is, am I in the wrong? Was I being shady, snarky, or just stupid?
Wow. Okay. That is a lot to unpack.
I am going to defend her right now. First of all, the emotional reaction is completely valid. A wink emoji from a coworker about round 2, that is digital terrorism.
But she shrank the sweater.
It was passive-aggressive karma. Look, she didn't confront him and look crazy. She just did a little domestic sabotage. It's giving snarky, and I honestly respect the restraint. She could have set the car on fire.
No. I'm looking at this analytically.
Yeah.
The execution was an absolute disaster. This is not snarky. Snarky implies a level of wit. This was just raw, unhinged property damage based on an assumption.
But the wink emoji.
Professional people use emojis terribly all the time. You cannot destroy a vintage wool garment over a Microsoft Office task.
You are being so harsh.
I am being logical. If you are going to snoop, which, red flag number 1, you have to verify the intel before you launch a drone strike on his wardrobe.
Okay, so what is your verdict then?
It's stupid. It's just stupid. She destroyed a nice sweater, and now she has to pretend it was an accident while secretly knowing she let her insecurities turn her into a chaotic laundry goblin.
A laundry goblin? Oh my god. I mean, I guess I see your point. It wasn't her best work.
Shady to snoop, stupid to shrink the sweater. We are officially labeling this stupid.
Fair enough. Honestly, this level of petty, paranoid relationship drama is the absolute perfect transition into what we are about to talk about today.
It really is. Because if you thought shrinking a sweater over a PowerPoint was unhinged, babes, you need to unclench your pearls right now.
Seriously, take a deep breath. We are diving into Season 1, Episode 1 of This Is Polly, titled The More the Messier. And I'm just going to start screaming because this premiere was an absolute fever dream.
It was a breath of fresh, highly toxic mess. I was sitting on my couch, just pausing the TV every 5 minutes to process the audacity.
Me too. And unlike Sister Wives, where everyone is constantly pretending to be, spiritually superior or religiously obligated to share a husband, these people are not doing that.
Not at all. They were just unapologetically living their messy, chaotic lives on basic cable. There's no higher calling here. It's just pure, unfiltered, bad decisions.
The internet is already tearing this show to absolute shreds. Like, the Reddit threads are on fire, everyone is calling it extremely toxic, they are screaming about the sheer volume of red flags, and the phrase, "Polly under duress," is trending.
And honestly, the internet is not wrong. Let's start with the most egregious offender right out of the gate. We have to talk about BQ and Tehmeena.
Oh, my blood pressure just spiked. Okay, so BQ is 43. He is a car salesman from Long Island, and he literally looks like a Pauly D knockoff.
The hair gel budget alone in that household must be staggering.
And Tehmeena is also 43. She claims to be the first Pakistani social media model, which, okay, work. They have been engaged for 4 years, but together for 8.
And within the first 5 minutes of meeting them, BQ drops a medical bomb that absolutely short-circuited my brain.
I had to rewind it. I thought I misheard him.
He claims that he is a serial cheater, which he admits to, gleefully, because he has an inflatable penile implant.
A robo-dick. He calls it a robo-dick.
He literally said on national television and said, "I have a bionic part, so I am hypersexual and require sex daily." And he uses this surgical device as a get-out-of-jail-free card for cheating on his fiancée for 7.5 years.
I am getting emotional just thinking about Tehmeena. Like, you can see the pain in her eyes. She is using polyamory, which BQ keeps calling a polycule, by the way. He can't even say the word. She's using it as a giant, desperate Band-Aid.
It is the textbook definition of poly under duress.
Exactly. She flat out says she is only doing this to keep him from cheating. She begged him to go to couples therapy to work on their issues, and this man looked at her and refused. He just refused.
Because therapy would require accountability. And BQ is allergic to accountability. He much prefers hiding behind his inflatable implant. It's a biological shield.
It is so manipulative. So instead of therapy, Tehmeena orchestrates this ambush date. They go out to dinner with a woman named Angie, who BQ thinks is just a potential new partner they met online.
But Angie is a plant. Tehmeena set the whole thing up to trap him in a lie, and it is a masterclass in awkward television.
It was so tense. So at dinner, BQ is trying to spin doctor his past, right? He claims he had this strictly platonic relationship with a woman for 4 years.
He is swearing up and down that it was never physical, just a deep 4-year friendship with another woman.
And Tehmeena just looks at him and drops the hammer. She reveals the receipt right there at the table. This woman wasn't a stranger. It was Tehmeena's coworker, her actual best friend.
And the timeline, oh my God, the timeline.
Right. She says he slept with this coworker in January and February, and BQ is just sitting there glitching.
Well, the best part was Angie, because Angie, who is basically a stranger, looks at BQ and just dismantles his entire argument. She points out the obvious flaw.
Which is that his lies don't even match up.
Exactly. Angie is like, wait, you're telling me you have a robo-dick that forces you to need sex every single day, so you constantly cheat, but you also maintained a purely platonic 4-year friendship with this attractive woman without sleeping with her. The math is literally not mathing.
Angie was the MVP of that dinner. So finally, backed into a corner, BQ admits it. He admits he slept with the coworker.
And the aftermath is what truly cements him as a reality TV villain. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't show remorse. He literally cuts and runs.
He gets up from the table.
He walks out, and he looks at the camera, and he delivers the most unhinged quote of the century. He says, I try to do things the right way and be honest, but honesty doesn't work, so lying's the way.
Lying's the way. I screamed at my television. The audacity of this man to get caught in a massive, years-long lie, and his takeaway is that the concept of truth itself is broken.
It is pure narcissistic deflection. It's never his fault. Honesty failed him, apparently.
I just want to rescue Tehmeena. She needs to pack his bags, deflate his implant, and change the locks.
Truly. Okay, from a car salesman in Long Island, let's pivot to Las Vegas. We need to talk about Marley and Bree.
Oh, the corporate girlies. The city lickers.
I am still trying to recover from them introducing themselves as the city lickers. They are Vegas social media influencers, and their stated life goal is to build a polycule of, quote, 999,000 bitches.
Which is basically the population of a small European country. Currently, they are managing a roster of about 20 to 22 women.
And they manage this roster like it's a mid-level marketing firm. They literally sit around a table with clipboards. Clipboards.
It's so dystopian. Let's break down the rules on these clipboards because it is an absolute HR nightmare. Rule 1, no disrespect. Sure, fine.
Rule 2, handle your responsibilities. Because, as they specifically noted, they're not there to bail anyone out of bankruptcy.
Rule 3, hygiene, which included the phrase, no hot fish, and I had to walk away from my screen.
I gagged. I physically gagged.
And Rule 4, no pillow princesses.
It's just so transactional. They take a woman named Key on a date to a go-kart track. And Key shows up in this head-to-toe pink bubblegum outfit, looking incredible, but completely inappropriate for go-karts.
She looked so cute, but it was so dusty.
And after making her race in that outfit, they sit her down and basically give her a performance review. They tell her she has successfully passed her 6-month probation, and they formally offer her the position of girlfriend.
And Key's reaction gave me life. I live for Key. She looks at them, she looks at the 999,000 women they want to date, and she politely declines.
She was so incredibly poised. She just said, I don't want to share you with that many people.
She knew her worth. She refused the job offer. And Marley and Bree looked genuinely shocked. They couldn't believe someone wouldn't want to be applicant number 23 on their roster.
Well, the ultimate hypocrisy of their entire clipboard system is the massive married elephant in the room.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about the paperwork.
Marley is demanding this rigorous vetting process and total transparency from these women, but she is literally still legally married to your ex-husband of 17 years.
They have been separated for 3 years, and she just refuses to sign the divorce papers. Bree is rightfully frustrated. Bree says, I am not proposing to you until you sign the divorce papers.
Which is a very logical boundary.
Completely. But Marley's response is, well, I won't sign them until you show me action and propose. It is a giant game of emotional chicken.
It's an intimacy avoidance tactic. Marley uses the massive roster and the unsigned divorce papers to keep Bree at arm's length. If she signs the papers, it gets real. And she clearly doesn't want it to get real.
She wants to be a CEO, not a partner. Okay, speaking of chaotic management styles, we have to travel to Orlando, Florida to visit the Yahweh pentad.
Sister Wives 2.0.
But somehow more stressful.
So much more stressful. We have Yahweh Poetic, who calls himself the king, and he has 4 queens, Madi, Krystal, Dabash, and Jasmine.
And between them all, they have 17 kids. Or maybe 18. No one actually knows the math because someone is always pregnant.
They literally had an argument on camera about the head count. I would simply pass away. They pool all their money into one communal pot, which makes sense, but the vibe is just bizarre.
Very bizarre, especially when Jasmine starts talking about the sex and she shows off these short, square acrylic nails. She calls them clacker nails and explains it so she doesn't accidentally turn anyone into a bowling ball. I did not need that visual. I really did not. But the biggest issue in this house, the absolute rookie mistake of the century, is logistics.
Yes. Let's look at the data here. Poetic has absolutely no set sleeping schedule in a house with 5 adults and 18 children.
It is negligent. He just wanders the halls like a ghost and sleeps wherever he wants on any given night.
Which breeds instant toxic resentment. The queens can never feel secure. They are constantly competing for his presence.
And we see it blow up during the anniversary episode. Poetic takes Krystal, who is one of the newer queens, out for their 4-year anniversary. And Madi, who is also a new queen and currently doing IVF with Poetic, absolutely loses her mind.
Madi is spiraling. The jealousy is radiating off her, and you have to factor in the IVF hormones.
Exactly. She is pumping her body full of hormones to have a baby with this man, and he is walking out the door with a giant bouquet of roses for another woman.
But the date itself is what really cemented Poetic as a master manipulator. Because he takes Krystal to a nice restaurant, gives her the flowers, and within 5 minutes, what does he do?
He ruins it. He literally looks at her on their anniversary and says, "Don't get comfortable. I am still actively looking for more queens."
It's so shady. It is a tactical strike to keep her insecure. He wants them all off balance so they fight each other instead of uniting against them.
It's disgusting. He is patriarchal hoarding disguised as polyamory. Okay, our final couple of the premiere. We are heading to Redding, California to meet Trent, Cami, and Nita, the power throuple.
I found their dynamic sociologically fascinating. So Trent and Cami are in their 50s. They were traditional monogamous high school sweethearts. Trent was literally a church deacon.
A deacon, and then they get bored, hit a midlife crisis, and decide to go to a clothing-optional resort because, of course, they do.
Naturally. And that is where they meet Nita, who is 39.
The origin story is wild because Nita sits on the couch, looks dead into the camera, and admits she literally slept with the husband just to get to the wife.
A Trojan horse strategy.
She bypasses patriarchal authority to access Cami. I was gagged.
It is incredibly calculating. We also have to mention the visual element that the internet is already screaming about. Trent and Cami's kids are white. Trent and Cami are white. But Nita, who is also white, constantly wears these culturally appropriated hairstyles.
It's a massive elephant in the room. The show doesn't address it at all, but the YouTube commentators are definitely calling it out. It's just a lot of boundary pushing all around.
Well, speaking of boundaries, they are currently drafting a mass coming out email to Trent's deeply conservative Christian family.
So stressful. Cami's family has already completely ghosted her. Her dad cut her off. And Trent is no longer the golden child. He lost his status in the church, and his sister-in-law blocked him.
They have essentially blown up their entire traditional support system to be together, and now they are planning a commitment ceremony for Nita.
Which is sweet, but like, wait, you have the actual tea on Nita from the internet sleuths, right?
Oh, I always have the tea. So, while they're filming this happy commitment ceremony, the Snark squad noticed something interesting in a promo for a different WE TV show. Nita's mugshot was spotted in a Love After Lockup trailer.
Some of it right now.
I'm dead serious. She is apparently facing her 3rd DUI.
A 3rd DUI? Oh my God, the chaos. That is not a cute quirk. That is a felony waiting to happen.
So this throuple is about to face the criminal justice system. The drama is going to be unparalleled.
I am so invested. Okay, we need to transition to our segments because my brain is melting. Let's open up the Smarkside relationship rulebook.
Let's do it. We have to analyze the interpersonal mechanics. First up, best communication. Who gets the gold star?
It has to be key. It literally has to be the girl in the pink go-kart outfit.
I completely agree.
She looked at a clipboard of insane rules, listened to these 2 women talk about a roster of 22 people, and she just calmly said, "No, thank you. I know my worth." She communicated her boundaries perfectly.
It was so refreshing. She opted entirely out of their toxic corporate structure.
Yeah.
Okay. Worst communication. Without a doubt.
Lying's the way. He lied on camera, got caught by his fiancée and a literal stranger, and then blamed honesty for failing him. He is the worst communicator on television right now.
He uses words to obscure reality, not to connect. All right, what about the biggest misunderstanding?
I think it's the Yahweh pentad. Their entire belief system is a misunderstanding.
Expanding on that.
They think you can run a 5-adult, 18-child household without a shared Google Calendar. Like, the misunderstanding is that a lack of rules equals freedom. It doesn't. It equals absolute chaos and resentment.
That is so accurate. Poetic thinks his randomized sleeping schedule makes him a king, but it actually just makes him an incredibly negligent partner.
Who needed to have a different conversation entirely?
Tehmeena.
Oh, heavily agree. I am so passionate about this. Tehmeena should not be at a dinner table discussing polyamorous networking with a random woman from the internet.
She is negotiating the furniture layout while the house is on fire.
Exactly. She needed to be discussing how to pack BQ's bags. The conversation should have been, give me the ring back and get out of my house.
She is trying to compromise her way out of betrayal, and it never works. Okay, moving into segment 2. Green flag versus red flag. Let's debate the highest highs and lowest lows.
Okay, I will start with a green flag because there was literally only one in the entire episode.
And what was that?
Trent and Cammie waiting until their children were grown before blowing up their traditional family structure. Like, their daughter Zoe is 21 and openly polyamorous herself.
It is a solid green flag.
Meh.
They recognize that their midlife crisis shouldn't traumatize toddlers. They waited until the kids had developmental stability before making this massive pivot. I respect that.
Thank you.
Okay, give me a red flag. Bree and Marley treating women like an inventory checklist. The probationary periods, the clipboards, the 999,000 bitches comment. It is all a massive red flag. It's the commodification of human intimacy.
It's so gross. My red flag is Tehmeena's poly under duress. Anytime you are compromising your own boundaries just to keep a partner from cheating on you, you are waving a giant red flag at yourself.
It's a tragedy. Okay, what was the biggest surprise for you?
The Yahweh household. I was surprised by how quickly the facade of the Happy Poly family crumbled. Like, it took one anniversary bouquet of roses to start an absolute world war between Madi and Krystal.
The structural integrity of that house is zero.
Okay, it is time for my favorite segment, Snarkside Couples Therapy. We are putting on our entirely unqualified therapist hats.
I am ready to prescribe some hard truths.
Patient 1. BQ, let's diagnose him.
Diagnosis. Narcissistic serial cheater hiding behind a literal medical device.
The biological shield. It's pathetic. What is the advice he desperately needs but absolutely won't take?
He needs to go to real intensive individual therapy. He needs to admit fault, stop manipulating Tehmeena, and take accountability for his own libido.
Which he will never do. So what is our prediction for his behavior? He will 100% cheat again by episode 3. He learned nothing from that dinner.
I give it until episode 2. Patient 2. Marley. Diagnosis.
Diagnosis. Terrified of actual commitment. She is using a massive roster of women to avoid real intimacy, and she is hiding behind an unsigned divorce paper to keep Bree at a safe distance.
She is an avoidant attachment style functioning as a CEO. The advice she won't take is to call a lawyer tomorrow and finalize the divorce from the husband she hasn't seen in 3 years.
Just sign the paper.
But she won't. So the prediction is she will keep stalling, she will invent new probationary rules for Bree, and eventually Bree is going to snap and walk away.
Bree is going to reach her limit. Okay, patient 3. Yahweh Madi.
Diagnosis for Madi. Deeply monogamous at heart. She is suffering from intense comparison and jealousy, and it is being exacerbated tenfold by the IVF hormones.
She is trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, and it is destroying her. The advice she won't take is to leave the pentad. She needs to find a partner who will give her 100% of their attention.
She needs dedicated security. But the prediction is she will stay. She will fight with Krystal constantly, and she will try to use her pregnancy to establish herself as the alpha queen of the house.
It's going to be so dark to watch, which perfectly segues into our final segment, the Chaos Forecast. Let's go full conspiracy board on what happens next this season.
Let's start with the relationships that will actually survive the season.
I think Trent, Cammie, and Nita will survive.
I agree. Despite the family trauma and despite Nita's impending third DUI and legal drama, they seem genuinely, weirdly obsessed with each other.
And honestly, the external rejection from the church and the family just bonds them tighter. It's an us against the world mentality.
Trauma bonding at its finest. Okay, relationships that definitely won't survive.
BQ and Tehmeena, I am predicting an explosive, fiery end to this engagement before the finale. Tehmeena has to reach her breaking point. Lying's the way was the final nail in the coffin.
I hope you're right, for her sake. And finally, forecast the future drama.
The Yahweh household is going to completely implode.
Oh, without question.
Poetic literally told Krystal he is actively looking for a sixth queen when he actually brings a new woman into that house, while Madi is pregnant.
The physical walls of the house will cave in. The finances are already stretched. The schedule doesn't exist. Adding a sixth adult will trigger a survival of the fittest war among those women.
It is going to be reality TV gold, but a psychological nightmare.
And we will be here to recap every single second of it.
We absolutely will. Babes, that is our recap for the premiere of This Is Polly. But before we go, we need to hear from the Snark Squad.
Get in the comments right now.
First, which weekend horoscope matched your life perfectly? Did you text your ex, Aries? Did you?
Don't lie to us. Second, were you team green flag or red flag on tonight's episode?
Third, out of everyone on This Is Polly, who needs our snark side couples therapy the absolute most?
And finally, was the listener confession at the top of the show shady, snarky, or stupid? Defend the laundry goblin if you dare.
I still think she was snarky, but let us know.
As always, babes, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us keep the frozen Aprils flowing.
And share this episode with your absolute messiest friend. You know exactly who I am talking about.
Stay messy,
Stay curious.
and we'll see you on the snark side.